Okay, first question. What do you love about mommy?
What do I love about mommy? She is her caringness. Love that she's caring and she's caring with everybody. It doesn't matter, she'll open up her house or she'll cook a meal, or it's almost like a servant's heart to give that she has, and to see that always, no matter what. I see it towards Mama going through her cancer treatment, and she's there. It doesn't matter, you know what I mean, and she's willing to sacrifice. So that caring heart that she has.
Second question. When was the first time you realized you wanted to marry mommy?
When I first met her, I was going to Macy's to pick up my brother, and I was with my friend Arturo. And as I was passing through one department to another, Anthony calls me and introduces me to Mom. And then we sat and we had this conversation. We talked for about 45 minutes, and then we walked. We were done. We exchanged numbers, and we walked. I walked away, and my friend Arturo tells me, I can see you marrying her. And at that time, I told him I could see me marrying her too.
So what do you love about daddy?
I love everything about Daddy.
Like what?
Like his way of turning everything into a positive, and him being supportive of us as a family, putting God first. His sense of humor, because he thinks he's a lot funnier than sometimes he is, but he really is. He's funny. And just the dad he tries to be all the time. So I feel like I have a best friend. I feel like I don't really have to leave the house to try to find someone if something happens, like something bad happens, and you're like, who can I tell if you're not going to turn to God right away? I have him.
Okay, second question is, when was the first time you realized you loved daddy?
I think I first realized when I loved Daddy early on in the relationship.
Like, this is the person I want to be with for the rest of my life.
Yes. I met him. I sold his brother a pair of shoes at Macy's. And when he came to pick up his brother later on, his brother Anthony introduced us and says, oh, I just got these shoes from her. And we talked, and we just were very comfortable with one another. And it didn't seem like we had to kind of think of stuff to say. Conversations just came easily. And at that time, he gave me his home number, which he had a horrible cousin. His pager number, there were no cell phones back in 1990, or we didn't have it. And his job number. So I was like, wow, he really wants to get to know me. So I think that it was just about love.
Question 1. How did you guys meet?
We met at Macy's.
I just said that.
I know, but they don't know that.
We met at Macy's, and that was.
I worked in men's outerwear and shoes, and his brother worked in men's furnishings, like ties and belts and handkerchiefs at that time. And Anthony came and bought a pair of ugly duck shoes, like galoshes, and he left because he was very happy-go-lucky. And then later on, Frank came to pick him up from work, and he goes, oh, this is Yvonne, she just sold me this pair of shoes. Look, this is what I got. The shoes were more important than I selling him the pair of shoes. But he introduced us.
And then we just had casual conversation from there. Probably talked for a little while, like probably about 45 minutes or so. Chatted, we exchanged numbers and talked about, just all kind of stuff. And then that was it. And we went from there.
Second question. What was the biggest challenge in beginning your relationship?
I don't feel like we really had challenges.
Like nothing you had to overcome? Like, was he messy or were you messy?
I don't think so. I mean,
His room was messy, but it wasn't something that I had to deal with in order to like him, type of thing.
when we got married, I mean, I would try to do my best to make sure things were cleaned or did the dishes, wiped the counters, did stuff like that. We would help each other out. I don't think there was anything like oh my God, what did I get myself into? She eats salad this way, and oh my God, I'm shocked. There's nothing like that. Nothing.
Same here.
How many years have you guys been married?
This October we'll be married 24 years.
How long have you known each other?
26 years.
What would be advice that you would give to young people? Not people that are like getting married, but just young people in general that are like dating or about to get married.
If I had to give any advice to young people, would be become friends first. Get to know the other person. Get to know them as a friend. Don't rush into things. I think we got a chance to know a lot about each other and be friends and enjoy time together. I mean, before I think even we had our first kiss, it was 3 months because there was a friendship thing going. We were friends. We were going out. We were having fun, enjoying life, and then we took our time from there. But I think it's become don't be in such a rush to hook up and just be friends.
And don't have kids right away. I think that part of our relationship, part that helped us grow as people, because we got married so early and we kind of grew up together, I say, for the first 5 years, was so that we got a chance to know each other, so that we knew who Yvonne was, and we knew who Frank was, and we knew who Yvonne and Frank are together. But as mom and dad, we didn't know whether we would have a way of just bringing all those things together. And sometimes a child, as much as their blessings, and I wouldn't change that for anything in the world, I think that holding off was a really, really good decision. So even if it's 2 years or a year if you really can't wait and you're too old, give yourself some time to grow together and do things, find out what you guys like. So then when a child comes along, you're just adding them instead of trying to rework and reinvent the wheel, so to speak.
What was the biggest challenge that you had to face in your relationship?
I think 2 days before I had my middle child, Faith, Frank was playing basketball and he ruptured both his tendons trying to take a shot. And we went by ambulance to White Plains Hospital, and they told us he wasn't going to be able to walk for about 6 to 8 weeks and that he needed surgery. So I was like, but I'm having a baby in 2 days. So we wound up taking him back in the car to Einstein Hospital, where we had to do everything all over again. And we didn't have a name for the baby at that time because we didn't think he was going to be able to see her be born. So we had decided that our faith in God is going to see us through. And her name is Faith, but it was that faith that kept us together. Being grounded, having a church family to support us, our regular family to support us. I think that during that time, if we didn't have that support group around us, especially God being our foundation, that we probably would have struggled a lot or maybe even not be together.
What keeps you guys together?
I think one of the biggest thing for us is our relationship with God. Is what truly is the glue that keeps us together. Society the way it is, or the world the way it is, and its challenges, and you need to see people all around us, and it's for them marriage is temporary. You get married and just divorce and marry the next person, divorce them, marry the next person, and divorce them. And I grew up with watching my grandparents married 65 years, I think. My mom and dad married 40 years, so I don't know anything else but stay together, you know, and the biggest thing is to have God in the center of that. So when we struggle, it's, you know, it's God who keeps us together and allows us to be able to be patient with each other, to be able to talk to each other, to be able to communicate in a fashion that nobody feels like the lesser of the two in the relationship. We have a great respect for each other, and but it really, I believe God is the center of that, and God is the center of why we are the way we are in our marriage and why we're together as long as we've been.
I think also an example of that is that I was raised with a single mom, single grandma, single aunts that kind of either had bad choices or decisions that they've made throughout their life, and they kind of didn't have that, they didn't have God in their life. And so now that we're married, after that kind of background of being with single, independent women, thinking that I can do everything without help, is it's one of the things that I cherish about our marriage, is that I have the help without feeling like I have to be dependent on him. He's my support group, but he doesn't take over. He doesn't enable me. He just strengthens me when I need it. And I think that sometimes people who don't have that strength, they throw up their hands and they say, that's it. I can't be in this relationship. It's not working for me. I think you should look at it. You know, what's not working? And where is it that if you were giving advice to somebody else that's in your shoes, what would you tell them? Could have. I think that once all of you guys are gone, I think I'd like to travel. I'd like to go around different places and just out of the norm type of places, things that are not like what we're doing now. Maybe different countries, visit different cultures. I'm not shaking my hair.
You go to Disney World.
Go to Disney World by ourselves. Woohoo!
Go on all the roller coasters.
We'll be the old couple.
And Space Mountain.
Yeah, screaming.
Yeah.
No, but it's just to be able to do, you know, as we invest so much time into you guys, into the kids, it's at that point it's to invest time into ourselves, invest time into our marriage, and invest time into, what, because we, having kids, you put yourselves on hold, you put your relationship on hold sometimes, and you put all your eggs in one basket, which is to make sure that your kids have everything that they need to go out and become these, amazing adults.
That's why we have date nights. To kind of keep that connection, so that we don't look and say, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
When the kids are gone.
And that's one of the biggest fears is, you see a lot of people who grow older and then all of a sudden they're like, when the kids are out of there, we don't have anything in common. I've fallen out of love with you.
What is that?
Tends to be the saying, and it's like, you got to put into it. You're going to get out of it what you put into it. So you push through that. You invest your time properly. You invest, you've got to put effort into it to make it work. So.
What a thing to do, 'cause you were all yellow. I drew a line for you. Oh, what a thing to do. And it was all